Previously on Gears.
All right, coming up in a couple of minutes from now, actually we should try and phone him right now, is going to be Vic Maharaj, our other Formula One specialist, because of some interesting stories that came out in the world of Formula One over the last weekend. I mentioned them to you yesterday. If you missed them, well, then I'm unfortunate. I will repeat them, but only when I get hold of Vic, otherwise we will reshuffle the whole things again. But they are pretty interesting stories, and will have ramifications and effects on quite a few different teams. So we'll get his viewpoint on this, because I think it is something that we really need to discuss. There we go, his phone is ringing, so we'll get hold of Vikesh Maharaja. You know what we're talking? Vikesh!
How's it, buddy? How are you?
I'm very well. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, Happy New Year. I think it's going to be a cool one, eh?
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. I know you're a very busy guy.
Yeah, it's not go sometimes, eh?
Hey, you know how it goes. They're very busy. Vic, there are some intriguing and interesting developments in the world of Formula One before the first test next weekend, don't you think?
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable how quickly the world of Formula One has broken apart, hasn't it, Sasha?
Well, I'm glad you bring that up, because broken apart leads me on to what's happening at the Williams team. Now, the Williams team, Vic, over the last I think since Adam Parr left and Sam Michael left, seem to have turned a corner. They may not have had the right drivers, but they seem to have become a much more stable and a much more competitive kind of outfit under the guidance of a gentleman by the name of Toto Wolff. But all of a sudden, that's going to change now. What's happening?
Well, I think, Sasha, that's the whole point. You know, a lot of people besides ourselves have taken note of the turnaround in the Williams team. I think they got their maiden win after such a long time in the basic wilderness of Formula One last year with Pastor Maldonado in Barcelona. And Toto Wolff, being a shareholder and I think an executive director of the Williams board at that stage, put in place, together with Adam Parr, from what reports and rumors would have you believe, a very good, strong technical team. And if you look at it, the chairman of Mercedes seemed to have noticed that amongst a lot of other people and ascribed that to Toto Wolff's passion for motorsport. He's an investor in the sport. And essentially decided to make him a job offer that Frank Williams says is too good to pass up, even though he would like to keep Toto Wolff at the Williams team. But I think it's a fantastic appointment. I think it's great. It's good to see new young blood coming into established teams in Formula One. I do have a few concerns about the Mercedes organization at this stage, but maybe that's a discussion for a bit later. But I think it'll be great, because Toto Wolff has got a 30% stakeholding in the Mercedes team. Remember, he owns 50% of the AMG concern, which races DTM. Correct. He's going to be responsible for all motorsports. It's a bit complicated how the F1 team works, because Niki Lauda will report directly on F1 matters. Toto Wolff will report on all other Mercedes matters, even though he, at the end of the day, is responsible for all Mercedes motorsports events across the globe, F3, DTM, and Formula One. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how these two personalities, they both being Austrian, handle being in charge of Mercedes Motorsport.
Yeah, I think it is going to be quite interesting development, especially with the likes of Niki Lauda there. But what happens now with Williams, Vic? Because Toto Wolff still has a shareholding within the Williams organization.
Yes, that is correct. He's not going to relinquish any of his shareholding. That obviously maybe at the end of the day shows his confidence in the team. It's a publicly listed company as well. So I think if he relinquishes all of his shareholding, it might have a bit of a negative effect on the share price, etc. But also the other thing is he's giving up his position on the board. So in the day-to-day running of the team, he's not going to really be involved. And I think Frank Williams has come out and said, you know, they still remain good friends and good business associates, but they're going to go all out to try and beat Toto Wolff and the Mercedes organization on the racetrack. So, I think it's fantastic that he still retained his interest in Williams. It just shows that maybe Williams as an organization is slowly starting to make profit rather than costing shareholders money.
Yeah, good point. The thing is now, Frank Williams and I mean Patrick Head, even though he's still a shareholder, has basically relinquished any form of authority there. Who does Frank Williams now try and find to replace Toto Wolff?
Well, that's going to be a very difficult thing. I think Frank Williams did come out and say that he will try and run the organization as it is. A lot of guys, I'm not sure if the gentleman's name, the CEO or the current CEO of the Williams organization, also seems to be relatively highly rated in Formula One circles, saying that Toto Wolff and this CEO essentially ran the team last year and turned it around. So, maybe this guy, will come to the fore in a more vision way, so we can see what this new blood is going to do in terms of Williams. A big challenge for Frank Williams to organize the correct people in the organization. You don't want to make change for change's sake. You want to, if the team is working and functioning correctly, I suggest rather leave it alone. The technical team is reasonably good, and I think that will be a very good call just for the first test or so. Leave it alone, see how the organization works, and then make a decision if he really has to.
Now, have you sent them your CV?
It's already in the post. It's already in the post.
Vic, the other story that has come out, and I mean, listen, I don't blame Timo Glock. I think, unfortunately, he's left in the wilderness in Formula One. He's better than the car that he's driving. But very drastic measures over this last weekend. Timo Glock leaving Marussia because Marussia need more money, and looks like he's going to BMW DTM.
Yeah, the announcement was made today that he will test the BMW DTM squad. I think it's a fantastic acquisition for them, and if he is quite good and shows the pace that we know he has, he'll definitely be a fantastic, probably a front-running driver for them in the DTM Championship. In terms of Marussia, especially I think you and the rest of the Formula One team, Gary as well, we all mentioned that we're so disappointed that Formula One is becoming the domain of the paid driver, and it becomes a situation now that Timo Glock, a GP2 champion, a very, very quick driver, has got podiums with teams before that, Toyota specifically, and he's been left with the Marussia team. Unfortunately, he had a contract signed until the end of 2014, so it was by mutual agreement, and I don't even think Marussia probably had the financial wherewithal to buy him out of the contract, so probably it was some sort of an agreement between the two parties.
Yeah.
And the real shame for Timo is that, remember, Pat Simmons came online, they used the McLaren wind tunnel, McLaren infrastructure, so a lot of people are expecting the Marussia car to be quite a good car this year. They're going to run Perth for the first time, so they could possibly challenge Caterham and maybe Toro Rosso fill out the grid this year, but maybe it's the situation, HRT's demise. A lot of people are saying that if you look at Formula One, the new teams that were incorporated into Formula One, maybe in the next 2-3 years might end up still being the original 7 teams that we had, not these 3 teams, because obviously HRT's gone, Marussia and Caterham, obviously.
Yeah, looking like trouble. And final point, Vic, Force India, there's been quite a lot of rumour that they're in financial trouble. They haven't announced a second driver as yet. They've come out and denied it, but we know in Formula One where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think over the course of the year, Sasha, Vijay Mallya has been in financial strife, with all these other ventures, the brewery, the airline company, etc. And, normally where there's smoke, there's fire. There's sort of a lot of a rumor that Bernie Eccleston has kicked in a plan to rescue the team, because the team actually has a very good opportunity. He's had very good results last year. Altenberg did very, very well for them. All the rest, and it just showed you, for me, alarm bells rang when they didn't make the announcement of that second driver. Adrian Sutil was trying to get it, and a lot of other people probably in the line, Heikki Kovalainen as well, was in the wilderness as well. But the mere fact that they haven't announced it tells me that they're looking for the best possible pay driver that could bring in financial resources to the team, and that obviously then is an alarm bell to tell you that maybe they don't really have the resources or the financial resources to see out the season.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Unfortunately, we are in the era of the paid driver being more influential than talent at certain times, but I suppose it's just the way of the world. Vic, thanks for your insight, my friend. Look forward to seeing you very, very soon.
All right, buddy. No problem. Thank you very much.
All right. Cheers. Bye-bye. There we go. Vic Maharaj giving us his insight into the likes of Marussia, what's happening there, the likes of Mercedes now taking Toto Wolff from Williams, and then the likes of Force India.
At the next intersection, turn on Gears with Sasha Martinengo. Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.